Over 1,000 impoverished families in China moved to a new community with government and Tzu Chi's help. Children from Tzu Chi Academy give thanks and serve tea to their mothers to express filial piety. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Maggie Tsai. Thank you for joining us. In China, more than 1,000 impoverished families have moved to Xuehuahu community in Sandu Shui Autonomous County. The government hopes to combine cultural industry and tourism to construct a new community. They also work with Tzu Chi Foundation to build a kindergarten. Here's more.
In China's Sandu Shui Autonomous County, most residents live in Dangkor town. Xuehuahu community is the only settlement for immigrants in the town. Currently, 1,290 impoverished families have moved here. This is their chance to be lifted out of poverty.
The most important issue is employment. Without work, they cannot live here, and they would not have an income. In terms of providing work opportunities, we have Mawei Weaving Workshop.
The main source of income comes from culture and tourism. To protect the county's cultural heritage, Mawei weaving has been promoted. Besides providing work opportunities, the government is also promoting children's education. Tzu Chi has come to help build a kindergarten, helping young children.
The construction of Xuehuahu Kindergarten in Dangkor Town will help 360 young children in Dangkor Town and nearby townships to pursue an education.
To nurture talents, we have to start when they are young. If we can educate the young children, they will succeed in the future.
Besides participating in the groundbreaking ceremony, Tzu Chi representatives also assess the conditions of the designated location for the special education school. They hope to help the villagers pursue a brighter future with education resources.
Cambodia Tzu Chi volunteers went to the Dangkor Landfill for the first time after the Sankra to distribute rice. 624 households received 40 kilograms of rice each. In addition, 263 impoverished college students who study in the city also receive rice, so they can continue to pursue education without worrying about their livings. At the forgotten corner of the city, these impoverished people live nearby the landfill. Despite the poor life, their hearts are rich. Everyone brought their savings to help the less fortunate people.
Although I don't have money, I'm happy to help those who are suffering a harder life.
This is the third year Tzu Chi came to distribute rice after the Sankra. People line up orderly at the distribution venue and everyone is happy to serve others. There are also some young people who came to volunteer.
I know that some women and seniors can't carry the rice, so I'm happy to help.
Volunteers' repeated visits have gave them security and faith that they won't be left alone. They cherish the help greatly.
I can't collect anything lately and the weather is very hot. I just had some intravenous injection because I was ill. I am thankful to Tzu Chi's help in these few years. They not only provided medical services and gave us medications, they've also bathed us and gave us clothes and shoes.
Some of these impoverished college students left home to seek a better education so they can change their destiny. However, life wasn't easy for them.
Every night when I'm alone in Phnom Penh, I feel afraid and I'm worried that I don't have money. Seeing everyone's encouragement and receiving the rice really made me happy. It's like seeing my family and I'm grateful.
The help is wonderful. These students are all from impoverished farming families in the countryside, and they traveled a long distance to come to Phnom Penh to study.
The 20-kilogram rice bag means not only warmth and care to them, but a light in the dark. They are able to remain hopeful and believe in a better future. In the aftermath of Cyclone Idai in Mozambique, a Tzu Chi disaster relief team has recruited many local volunteers. Working together, they have distributed construction supplies to affected residents. 2 months after the disaster, Tzu Chi volunteers and local residents have returned to Tika to understand the affected residents' current situation.
Every home visit reveals changes in the lives of care recipients.
This is my first time doing home visits with Tzu Chi volunteers. Since I came into contact with Tzu Chi, I've learned a lot. In the past, I was not a kind-hearted person. After joining Tzu Chi, I began to care about others and help other people.
Xuehuahu is an affected resident in Tika who has received Tzu Chi's help and became a local volunteer. 2 months after the cyclone, he brought Tzu Chi volunteers to the disaster area to understand the living conditions of the residents.
I did not think that people would give me things. However, after receiving the construction supplies you gave me, I can start to repair my house.
It is very challenging to conduct home visits after distributing supplies. For the residents, we are outsiders, but I'm willing to take up this challenge and care for them. I want to become their friends so they can feel our love.
Coming to Anita's house, one can see that a large bed is taking up half of the space in the room. She said that some people have to sleep on the ground.
I'm very glad to repair the house after receiving the supplies. However, I need a bigger house because my house is too small. Although there is a space to build a house, I lack cement and bricks.
Concerned about the child's nutrition, volunteers have delivered milk powder. In addition, they took the family's first family portrait. When getting the picture, the family are nicely surprised. Conducting home visits in the disaster area, the volunteers have empathized with the cyclone survivors. Local volunteer Olinda has decided to move from the capital to Beira.
Coming to Beira, I've witnessed how the residents have been affected by the cyclone. I hope to provide care to them through home visits. Coming to help them has also helped me spiritually.
There are many children who follow the volunteers to visit families out of curiosity. The volunteers gave them pencils from Taiwan.
Sim. Não.
Não, não é? Assim que recebeu os lápis, como é que te sentes?
Boa.
Piscinango, Paulinho? Ali para o teu responde lá piscinango, Karen? Cabe, né? Tem não cabe?
Gabi.
Então tem para também o lápis, comer ou cabe?
Tá comendo.
Onde que tem que na piscina?
Leva. Escola.
Charles, who's a documenting volunteer, is caring for the affected residents. He has also brought joy to the local children.
When I'm still in front of the line, I feel like it's a big chance, opportunity to do what sometimes is only thinking or like waiting for others do. Today is my chance to do with chat with them, playing with them, and share my love by action.
Delivering love and care to the affected residents, the volunteers have built up a trusting relationship with them. They will continue to carry out the charity mission with a firm resolve.
Hong Kong people are naturally drawn to Taiwan because of close geography and similar culture. They may find Taiwan more spacious and relaxed as more and more are coming to start a business in Taiwan. In 2018, more than 4,500 Hong Kong people came and applied for resident status. Among this group, there were many young people eager to start a business and realize their dream of being their own boss.
This everyday waffle is turned into a delicious dessert at the hands of the stall operator. Stall Isis originally worked in the media industry in Hong Kong. She had been stationed in Taiwan for half a year. Her love of desserts eventually led her to pursue her dream of opening a stall of her own. She was able to do this through her accumulated connections and experience.
In fact, I really like this place. In contrast, the cost of starting a business in Taiwan is relatively low. I also thought about how much I like this place. So I thought, what if a Hong Kong person comes to Taiwan to start a business?
The small store has a lovely style, and the location is in a well-known department store in the Xinyi district of Taipei City. The monthly rent is not cheap, but according to her estimate of Hong Kong rents, Taiwan's prices are affordable to many everyday people.
For example, this is like the Hong Kong Central District, which is a prime location. This stall is about 6 square meters, and a comparable space in Hong Kong will cost about 4 to 5 times as much.
From going from an employee to a boss, this was the transition that she made after leaving her hometown to come to Taiwan. It was also her valuable Taiwan experience that enabled her to start her own business in Hong Kong. In just 6 months, she opened 2 branch locations in Hong Kong. Now she lives a little easier and can enjoy the charms of Taiwan.
After operating here for 18 months, many people have helped me because they know I'm from overseas. And honestly speaking, the living standard here isn't too high, and there isn't a lot of pressure to keep up.
When you are walking the streets shopping, did you notice that there are more and more Hong Kong people who speak Cantonese? Chenny is 38 years old and is an expert in repairing mobile phones. He grew up in Hong Kong and worked for a convenience store. He wanted to start a business in Japan. However, after he married the Taiwanese wife, he did not want to be separated from her and the children, so he started a business in Taiwan.
My wife wasn't used to the life in Hong Kong. Sometimes I thought that it isn't so hard for me to adapt to a new environment. So I eventually decided to come here and accompany her.
After a family made this change in just a few months, he used his savings in Hong Kong to start a repair shop in the Wufanbu area. Soon he was open for business.
For Hong Kong people coming over here, spending a little bit of money to start a business is not a big deal. I don't think there's a great amount of pressure on me. The cost of renting a store this size in Hong Kong would be about 9,000 to 10,000 US dollars. And here in Taiwan, rent is about 1/10 of that price.
Chenny observed that even if Hong Kong people go to China to start a business, the competition is very fierce. Looking back at Taiwan, he believes it is neither too big nor too small. If one can succeed in Taiwan, you will feel a sense of satisfaction. For this reason, Taiwan has become a happy place for him. His next move is to buy a house and give his family a more stable life.
Hong Kong salaries and those in Taiwan actually vary greatly. But here the money goes a little farther, so I think that it is reasonable.
On social media sites like Facebook, there are plenty of people from Hong Kong discussing their experience emigrating to Taiwan. With the satisfied experience from this individual spreading such a message, soon it may be a trend of even more people moving to Taiwan. In January 2019, the Hong Kong Institute of Asia-Pacific Studies at Chinese University of Hong Kong announced an immigration survey. It found that 34% of Hong Kong residents intend to emigrate elsewhere. Most want to emigrate to Canada, followed by Australia, with Taiwan ranking third, accounting for 11.3% of survey responders. This is because of the close distance and similar language, as Taiwan has become a top 3 emigration destination location for those in Hong Kong. While many in Hong Kong have the dream of emigrating to Taiwan, a large number have already accomplished this and are now working on building a sense of accomplishment and belonging.
A Buddha Day ceremony was held in Ormoc's Great Love Village in the Philippines. In addition to honoring the Buddha, it was also a good chance to highlight the importance of filial piety. In addition, a special play, The Dream, was put on through the help of everyone, highlighting the importance of choosing a vegetarian diet.
Ormoc's Great Love Village held a Buddha Day ceremony, which began with a sign language performance from these children. This year is the fourth year that Ormoc has put on this Buddha Day celebration. Local volunteers were responsible for much of the planning, including the play The Dream. Each aspect, from the acting to the script and even the props, were managed by locals. The Dream is a scene from the Water Repentance Sutra, recounts the story of a woman who loves to eat different animals. She has a dream at night where all of the souls of these animals are visible as they are slaughtered and smashed into a pulp. In the end, the person is not able to overcome this bad karma and is forced to go to hell. The moral of the story is for everyone to refrain from killing animals and pursuing a vegetarian diet.
It transforms everybody towards building what we call as a love city. No? It's not just the people here living, no? But even those who are not affected, even those who are living in big houses, they are now part of the love city. And this is what true helping is all about, being true to the name of Tzu Chi, compassionate relief. That's why we are very grateful to the Tzu Chi Foundation, to all the Tzu Chi volunteers, and particularly to Master Cheng Yin.
To show his filial piety, a Tzu Jing named Mark brought his sister as they took turns feeding their mother ice cream.
I see my own children studying Tzu Chi and learning about filial piety. I feel very warm and thankful in my heart.
In the nighttime, a number of Chinese volunteers led the crowd to bow to the Buddha and serve fragrant water. Volunteers held lanterns and conducted a very solemn and respectful Buddha Day ceremony in Ormoc's Great Love Village.
In U.S., Tzu Chi Texas chapter and Portland liaison office hosted their own Buddha Day ceremonies. Many students in the Tzu Chi Academy served tea to their mothers to express gratitude and filial piety. Let's take a look at these heartwarming events. Portland Tzu Chi volunteers hosted a Buddha Day ceremony at their office. The ceremony was simple but solemn. Everyone prayed to the Buddha with a sincere heart. The children from kindergarten also served tea to their mothers. Tzu Chi Academy purposely hosted an event to promote filial piety and gratitude. Children performed sign languages, served pastry, and hugged their mothers. The participants' parents were deeply touched by the children's loving acts.
希望小朋友就是平平安安、健健康康长大就好了。我很感动啊，运气也蛮好，今天来参加这个新会，很谢谢慈济，真的办得很棒。
At another location, the Texas chapter also hosted a Buddha Day ceremony with everyone praying and doing Buddhist chanting. After the event, every mother received a carnation to celebrate the Mother's Day. In this loving ambience, the Tzu Chi Academy gave awards to the hardworking students at the closing ceremony of the semester. Many parents have performed sign languages on stage with their children's encouragement.
Thanks to Tzu Chi Academy to give us mothers a chance to perform. Hopefully there will be more chances for us to be on stage in the future.
With love and joyfulness, everyone gives blessings to each other and look forward to the new semester. On the last day of the 2019 National Voluntary Organizations Active in Disaster Conference in Nashville, Tennessee, Tzu Chi joined a panel to share the disaster relief experience with the theme of climate change. Through this annual conference, Tzu Chi hopes to have opportunity to cooperate with other organizations to promote Tzu Chi's charity mission.
It's the final day of conference, and Tzu Chi held a panel to listen to opinions from all walks of life and shared their own experience.
At this panel, we'll be talking about how policy and climate-induced disasters affect various populations. We're hoping that the audience can take away successful models in which organizations such as Tzu Chi uses to serve and help people of different backgrounds.
We went over 3 weeks in a row to provide cash cards at the DRC. Pacific Islands have certain difficulties. For example, people who live on land but without registered domicile, that traditional relief organizations like FEMA or Red Cross are not able to help under their rules. So they need to come to organizations such as Tzu Chi that have more flexible rules so that we can help fill the gaps.
We have no gasoline. We have no fuel. We run out of fuel every 2 weeks. They can't afford to buy it.
Well, disaster relief in Haiti is much different than working in other parts of the world because their situation was already dire to begin with. So for instance, if there's a catastrophic event today, no one is prepared for it at all. So it's crucial to have help from organizations like Tzu Chi Foundation.
3 days of conference has ended, but it's just the beginning for Tzu Chi, expecting more opportunities to cooperate with other organizations.
Within 3 days, we will talk about lots of friends, and we will work with lots of the agencies. And that's enhance us and this organization and the other organization to continually work together, collaborate together to helping people, especially during the disaster sense.
In Hunan Province, Changsha Yuan Shuanglan had a large tumor that grew on her face and affected her ability to eat. It also left her blind in her left eye. In 2017, Tzu Chi volunteers encountered her. Later, they brought her to the hospital to have an operation to alleviate their problems. Later, volunteers visited with follow-up care as she has been full of gratitude.
This large tumor is growing on her face as 39-year-old Yuan Shuanglan is not only struggling with her physical appearance but also having difficulty eating. 7 years ago, the tumor pressed on her left eye, causing her to lose her vision.
Our family really struggled back then as we didn't have any food to eat.
Tzu Chi volunteers accompanied her to the hospital to learn about her condition and the troubles she has been experiencing for years.
I don't look down on myself. My husband didn't give up on me. I'm satisfied, and my 3 children didn't give up on me.
Although she was looking forward to the operation, there's a little fear and trepidation. 3 months after the operation, volunteers paid her a home visit and found her condition noticeably improved.
It's a little more convenient. Before it was quite large, but has been reduced to this size. It's easier to chew things like an apple and other fruit, which I couldn't eat before, which needed to be cut.
Before, she had a bad temper and frequently talked loudly. Now her temper has softened and she has more confidence in herself.
I think I need to yell loudly so others can hear, but I can hear myself clearly. That's why I speak loudly. After I met you, I speak softly. I learned from you volunteers.
My mother's character has changed. She used to beat me before, but doesn't anymore, and it's not so bad now.
She takes out the IV bottle from the hospital where she has collected money, which she wants to donate to help others.
To help cycling affected residents in East Africa, Sri Lanka Tzu Chi volunteers hosted a car washing event to cultivate kindness. We'll leave you with these images and thank you for joining us. Goodbye.